Here's a question that has plagued me ever since I started to interact almost completely online, meaning this topic usually doesn't happen in person, but almost exclusively online, but with such regularity that it has to be addressed. And here is the topic. Why are umpires so critical of other umpires so consistently online? And maybe this is just the nature of online communication as the anonymous nature, even though it's got your name on it, but it's very impersonal. But I'm concerned that it's not just an online problem. It's a character problem. It's a flaw in how umpires apply their confidence, their knowledge. And I have to admit and confess that some of this comes from a place of just not really enjoying and liking when people criticize me. I don't know that a lot of people do, but I think it bothers me more than most people are bothered by it. But what I have seen so consistently among umpires online is just a tremendous willingness to criticize and to say, hang it up, you should never umpire again. If my partner did that, blank, 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 And what I would say to you is, number one, we don't really know. We don't know what that person. We don't know why that umpire made that call at that time, other than they're a human being. We don't know the situation. We don't know the level of their training. We don't know how many games they had done that day. We don't know what was going on in their mind, that they may have been distracted or tired, or simply just ill-equipped, or frankly, maybe they were well-equipped, well-rested, but they just made a bad call. What I find so discouraging, though, is that we are in such desperate need, not just for umpires, but we're in desperate need for guys and gals who really care. I actually think that we have enough umpires to fill the slots, but we don't have enough good umpires. I have worked with some really bad umpires, and not bad in a sense that they're not bad because they don't have the skills. They're bad because they don't care, and they don't have the skills. Some of them have the skills and don't care, which is perplexing to me. But as I think about and I look at the landscape of umpires, we need better umpires. We need more umpires, but we also need better umpires. And what I would say is I know a dozen kids that are under 18 years old, that maybe 20, that want to become umpires, that are umpires and are developing. And I think that most of them would be very, very discouraged if they joined like an online umpire group, because they would see so much criticism and so much harshness that it would drive them away. For the same reason that, a player would not stay with a coach or a team if it was a highly critical environment. I'm not saying we don't criticize, or make observations or correct people, but there's a difference between that and just the profound level of negativity and harshness of which umpires speak to other umpires online. It doesn't make sense to me. Knowing what we know, which is we have such a shortage of umpires, knowing that what we do is really difficult. Like that, my dad does this, and I love my dad very, very much, but one flaw that he has, and we all have many, but one of his is to criticize professional athletes. Now, sometimes professional athletes do really stupid stuff, but it's very easy from our lazy boy chair to say, why did he make that throw, or why did he do that? And I always reply with, because there was a very large man chasing him at the time. You know, um, like, it's hard. It's what athletes do is hard, and what we do as umpires is difficult, especially when you're behind the plate. The amount of decisions you have to make on every single pitch, the amount of options you have on every single pitch, the amount of potential outcomes you have on every single pitch are astounding. I remember seeing a post about, like, what are the 8 ways you can get to first base, you know? And I was like, oh, I can do that. And I thought of like 4. The other 4 were just funky, you know? Because there's this complexity. There's complexity in what we do. And so I want to encourage you to be more encouraging. I want to encourage you that one of the great things about being light in a dark place is it doesn't take very much light in a dark place to really make that dark place much, much, much brighter. And I would submit that there is a profound shortage of encouragement, of mentorship, of positivity, of fun in most umpire circles. Now, I am very blessed that I have 10 umpires I could call right now, and that I haven't talked to in months, and just I could just talk shop with them, or I could say, hey, let's go get a beer, let's go have a pizza, or let's, you know, meet and talk about this topic, and they would be happy to do that. I'm very, very blessed with the community of umpires I have. But I would submit that online, there is this, and I don't know if people are just that unhappy, or if they're that prideful that they really believe, like, if you're going to wear those pants, never step on the field with me. I'm like, okay, cool. I don't want to work with you if you're that worried about my pants, you know? Like, I don't know why people are so negative in the umpire world online. Again, it might just be an online thing, but I know that we need more umpires. I know that what we do is hard. I know that it's easy to be negative when you don't really have to talk to that person, you know, to say it to their face. But man, I would encourage you to be the light in the darkness, which I believe is just umpiring. I mean, again, I'm very blessed, but I would just say that and again, it's the job of an umpire to make a judgment. Like, that is literally what we do on every single pitch. But at some point, you don't have to judge. You don't have to convict someone of, you know, you're a moron, or like, it is okay to see something that you think was stupid online and say, I wasn't there. I probably would not have made that call. I personally would not have made that call, but, you know, maybe he saw something that I didn't see, or maybe he saw it a different way. That's entirely possible. Or you could say, man, he blew that call, but he probably got 99 other calls right. Like, those things can all be true. Instead of, you know, what a moron, or I would never, or it's guys like you that are the problem with so-and-so. It's just discouraging, and it makes people quiet. The reason there isn't more positivity in these groups is because there's so much negativity that the positive people are unwilling to step up and say something. And the other reason that there's not more caring and sharing and encouragement online is because when people do post, people are afraid to post their stuff online, because when they do, they get ripped apart. I mean, I did this. I actually posted something and said, what can I do better? And people were just incredibly like, you're a moron. I'm like, I get that. I get that this was bad, or I was just asking, what could I do better? I'm not saying, please tell me I'm an idiot. I'm saying, how can we all get better? And and maybe there's just guys in their 60s, 70s, 80s that are just like, that's how I talk to people. Okay, cool. You're a really harsh person. But what I would say for you, if you want to be part of the solution, is to bring positivity to your interactions with umpires. Encourage them. Praise them. Ask them, hey, are you open to some advice about a few things? instead of just bringing criticism and being negative. Um, because man, this umpire world, it can be a very, very lonely place just because of the nature of the job. There's one or two of us, sometimes three, at our levels that I'm mostly at, and then there's everybody else, and all those people have opinions: the players, the parents, the coaches. So we got to be strong for each other. We got to be encouraging to each other. We have to empower each other. We have to train each other. We have to advocate for each other. And so I hope you'll take this message and maybe you'll be inspired to check in on another umpire, to tell an umpire you're doing a great job, to text a buddy and say, hey, I love calling games with you. I hate the winter, but I hope you rest up. We'll see you out there in the spring. That might sound weird to you. Okay, cool. It's weird. But wouldn't you like to get that text? Wouldn't you like for some random guy you worked with last summer to text you and go, hey, Bill, you just came to my mind. I love working with you. And can't wait for this spring. Hope we get some games together. Would you be like, hey, what a weirdo? Or would you be like, oh, thanks. That's really nice of you. That's flattering. I'm not asking you to lie. If they're good, tell them they're good. If they're not good, don't text them. But we need more of that. It is a hard enough job without us criticizing each other in the way we usually criticize each other. So I hope that you will take this as an encouragement to you, that when you don't speak up because there's so much negativity, that is the time to speak up because there is so much negativity. That when you see an umpire make a mistake, that you ask a question instead of making a statement. Instead of saying that's bad or that's stupid, just say, what did you see? Tell me more about why you made that call. Help me understand what you were thinking and seeing in that situation. Instead of just lashing out either online or in person or wherever the situation might be. Give each other some space to be imperfect, and let's be a community of people that have a really hard job and know that, so we then move forward with a lot of grace and professionalism and kindness so that we can keep doing this really hard job. Our job's not going to get easier. So I hope that's an encouragement to you, a call to action to you, because we have a hard job and we need help. We need help to get better ourselves, but we also need more people who want to do this. And I can just tell you, a lot of the activity and conversation I see online would repel people instead of bring them into us. And so if you're new and you're like, man, all these people are harsh, not everybody's like that. A lot of people are just afraid to speak up. So keep up the good work. Appreciate you. Be grateful. Call strikes.